to the Wellness Covenant with Donna, where we're learning something deeper than trends and quick fixes. Because the key to maintaining consistent, healthy habits is not what most people think. It's not willpower, it's not motivation. Staying on the bandwagon comes from building a strong covenant foundation. A commitment that goes beyond feelings, a promise that anchors your choices. A lifestyle rooted in purpose and intention. So if you're ready to build that strong foundation, to experience a healthier life as you grow older without falling off the bandwagon, then come join me every third Monday.
Hello, everyone. Welcome I'm going to say another day, but it's Monday. Monday afternoon. Welcome. Listen, before we even get started, this is Daughters of Destiny, and this is Wellness with Donna, the Gut Brain Highway. Listen, as I say all the time, you are welcome here, and we are glad to see you, and you. All right, so this is what I need you to do. Go ahead and share, like, comment, because we like audience participation. So we're going to jump right in because I want Donna to have all the time that she needs. If you see that scrolling across the screen, this is Wellness with Donna, the Gut Brain Highway. Donna is our wellness coach. And when I tell you, she is a walking encyclopedia. She needs Dr. Donna Marie Caldwell in front of her name. I'm telling you, if this is your first time, we want to say welcome. But I promise you, by the time we leave, this will not be your last time, because the information that you are going to receive is going to leave you thirsty and wanting more. Trust me, I know. So we're going to jump right in. Hi, Donna. How are
Hey,
you?
Marlene, thank you for that great introduction. You are like a pro. I'm like, wow.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. And I love being here. I love what I do. I love helping others take charge of their health and be well. Like be well, exist in wellness. And I love that word be. It's used so many times in the Bible, like be this, be that, be holy, be righteous, be all the things. And it's a state of existence. And that's
Mm,
where I think, we, particularly as Christian women, we want to use that word be more, even when it comes to wellness. We want to exist in a state of wellness. And when we do that, life is just better. And that's what I love to teach. So
yes.
thank you.
Yes. So I'm going to turn it right over to you, and we're just going to listen and conversate and jump right in.
All right. So today we're talking about gut health. In the past, I think we started out talking about covenant wellness or the covenant decision, which is foundational in terms of making the decisions, the boundaries, and other things to make being healthy really possible and really sustainable. And we have that foundation in terms of the steps that we need to take, but what does that really mean in terms of what do we do? And one of the things that, or I'll say the main way that I like to teach about health is to give you the science of what's going on in the body. God is the author of science. He made
Mhm.
our bodies. And I think that when we understand really what's going on, then we are more apt to make the right decisions to support our bodies. And gut health is at the center of that. There's a saying that all disease begins in the gut. And
Mhm.
that is really true. That is really
Mhm.
true. And when it comes to manifesting in the body, it begins in the gut. A lot of it actually begins in the brain, but that's what we're going to talk about today is the gut brain highway. All right. And I like to call it gut health and mental wealth because they're
Mm.
connected. And when our gut is healthy, our mental state is more likely to be healthy. And when our mental state is healthy, our gut is more likely to be healthy because they are directly connected. And we're going to talk about that today. But I want to start with a question. And since Marlene, you're the only person that I can see, I'm going to ask you to answer. But if you are watching live, even if you're watching the replay, put it in the comments, your answer to this question. If you could preserve only one, either your physical health or your mental health, and you had to choose, it's a hard choice, but if you had to choose, which one would you choose to preserve your physical health or your mental health? Marlene, it's all on you.
That's a no-brainer
Yeah.
for me. No pun intended. That's a no-brainer for me. Um, I would say my mental.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying my mental, because each and every day I always say, I have the mind of Christ. I'm always saying, I want to keep my mind intact because I want to know you. I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
know the person standing in front of me. I want to know what day it is. I want to know all the things. So I would say my mental.
Yeah. And to be honest, that's the answer that I get most of the time, which I'm glad I get it. Because if you think about it, if you preserve your physical health and your mental health is gone, it really doesn't matter.
Does it? It does it.
It really, really doesn't matter. And I'm glad to know that most people understand that what's on the inside is just as important or more important than what's on the outside. And here's the thing is that most people don't understand is that our gut health and our mental health are absolutely connected. So in all honesty, when we choose one, we're automatically choosing the other. So
Mm.
if we are intentional about our gut health, our mental health is going to improve. And if we are intentional about our mental health, our gut health is going to improve. Now, let me give you some definitions. So, our gut health, when I say gut health, another word for that is microbiome. Yeah, there you go. But that is the state of our gut ecosystem. And when I say ecosystem, there are microorganisms, and I'm going to give you some numbers about this later, that are living inside of our gut that literally control the entire body. Like when the ecosystem of our gut gets off balance, I can guarantee you, you're going to get sick. You may get some type of serious illness. Things are going to be off. You're not going to feel good. Your mood is going to change. It's like literally the gut, even though people say, all disease starts in the gut. Wellness starts in the gut as
Mhm.
well. All right.
Mhm.
And so when I talk about mental wealth, okay, so what about the whole mindset thing? When I say mindset, in this context, I'm not talking about like a mindset in terms of I have a mind to do this or having the right mindset to do that. I'm talking about what we feel, our emotions, okay? Our emotions, to be honest, are really the core of our wellness. And when we live, well, let me back up. Let me back up. So there are two types of emotions. Anybody want to guess what that is? The two types of emotions? Anybody want to guess? Marlene, can you guess?
Uh,
They all fall in either this bucket or that bucket.
I'm puzzled. Let's see. Two types of
Well,
emotions.
just give me an example of an emotion.
Sadness,
Okay, sadness. And can you guess what bucket sadness might be in? Like sadness. Give me another emotion.
uh, joy.
Now, do you think joy and sadness are in the same bucket?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Can you guess possibly? And I know this is a hard question. I'm just trying to put you on the spot. I just want to see if
No, it's
anybody
fine.
knows this. Yeah. Like what bucket holds joy and what bucket holds sadness? Joy's probably an easier bucket than sadness to guess.
What bucket holds, repeat that?
What bucket holds joy and what bucket, which is a different bucket, holds sadness. I said the
Well,
joy bucket is go ahead.
I would think grief holds sadness.
Okay, grief is actually in the same bucket with sadness. Okay, but I'll
Okay.
just tell you. So it's two emotions: fear. Fear
Wow.
holds grief, sadness, anger, worry, all of the negative emotions. Joy is in the bucket of love. All of our love based emotions, all of our emotions fall into either love based emotions or fear based emotions. All right.
Okay.
Everything is going to fall into that, the positive love, the negative fear. All
Hmm.
right. And so all of our emotions are driven by that. Now, the thing is, which I love about God, He's so awesome,
Yeah.
awesome, because when I talk about science, science actually supports scripture. And there's a scripture in the Bible, very familiar, but perfect love casts out all fear. All right.
Yeah.
That lets me know that fear based emotions are stronger than love based emotions. All right. That
Mm.
is really key. I mean, did I say fear? Wait, did I say it
You
backwards?
said fear. Yeah, you
I'm
said
sorry.
fear.
Cut, cut, cut.
Rewind.
Love-based emotions are much stronger, I have to catch myself, than fear-based emotions. All right. And that is really, really key. And it's supported by what goes on in the body. So fear-based emotions produce several hormones, but one of the main ones it produces is cortisol. And cortisol
Mm.
is known as what? Cortisol is
Stress.
known as what? Can you guess? What
Stress.
type of hormone? Yes, cortisol is known as our stress hormone. All right.
Hmm.
Now, love produces a different hormone called oxytocin. All
Hmm.
right. And scientific studies show that oxytocin is stronger than cortisol. So when we are being or living or existing in a state of love and the oxytocin is flowing, all right,
Hmm.
that is going to get rid of the cortisol produced by the fear. All right. And oxytocin promotes healing in the body, it promotes healing and health. Cortisol, okay, we don't have any bad hormones because everything has a purpose, but too much cortisol in the body creates sickness. Creates sickness. So again, so the state of our gut, we have, when I talk about gut health, talking about the ecosystem, and it's very much influenced by whether our mental state is in love when we're producing oxytocin or in fear when we are producing cortisol. Now I'm just going to take a quick pause here because I just want to make sure the technology is working and everybody can see and hear me, because Marlene, on my screen you are frozen. Am I frozen
No,
on your
I'm frozen.
side?
And I'm frozen too. Okay. Let's see. I'm frozen.
And I don't know if anybody watching can let us know, if anybody's watching live, if you can hear the both of us, see the both of us, or is either of us frozen on your screen? Okay, it says I am not frozen. Okay. So I'm
Okay.
gonna,
I'm
just for the
frozen.
sake of time, I'll keep going, but hopefully Marlene will unfreeze on my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Um, so think going back and thinking about the whole thing in terms of mental, your mental health versus your physical health. Okay, it's kind of like, even though I asked you which one would you prefer or which one you would choose, the key here is it's the same conversation. Choosing one actually by default or is inherently choosing the other. Now, let me give you a few statistics. Okay, we're going to talk about mental health. Okay, 1 in 4 US adults have been diagnosed with a mental disorder. This is a diagnosable disorder. Okay, over 40 million Americans live with anxiety. Now, here's another one, and let me know if this surprises you. Depression is now the #1 cause of disability worldwide. 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 Worldwide, okay? And that number continues to grow in terms of incidence. Nearly 10% of American adults are on prescription mood altering drugs with a high failure rate. So that lets me know that this is a big problem. Like mental wellness, mental health, whatever you want to, however you want to look, whichever lens you want to look through, is a big problem. Okay. The number one cause of disability worldwide. Okay. 1 in 4 adults have a diagnosable mental disorder. Over 40 million live with anxiety. 10% are on prescription drugs for mental disorders, and they're not working. They're not working. So the question is not whether mental health matters. The question is, are we looking in the right place for the answers? And if that question was yes, then those statistics should not be as they are. And what we want to talk about today is depression or mental disorders. It's not a sadness disease, it's an inflammatory disease. It's an inflammatory disease that starts in the gut. And depression is in the same category or the same family with Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer's, and other mental disorders. And again, where does it start? In the gut. And I am a firm believer is that when you want to heal anything, that you want to start with the root cause. Because if you're not starting with the root cause, you are not going to be able to ultimately heal the condition or reverse it. And the problem with conventional medicine today is that it focuses on managing the symptoms. And when you manage the symptoms without getting at the root cause, you never become fully healed. And although managing symptoms is great and managing symptoms is necessary, how many people would rather be healed just completely instead of only managing symptoms? Marlene, how about you?
Can you hear me, Donna?
I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know why I'm still frozen, but I'm here. Um, Repeat your question again.
So
I
the
was just
question was in terms of are you more interested in being healed or just
Mhm.
managing your symptoms?
Definitely healed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what all of this wellness is about. When I talk about taking charge of your health and living in wellness, it's learning the things that we can do, okay, that you can do on your own without having to rely on the doctor all the time to help heal your body. And if you want to be healed, it's actually absolutely necessary because the doctor, in most cases, although some doctors, I've been hearing a lot from clients where doctors are more and more getting on board with looking at nutrition,
Mm,
and things
yeah.
like that, which I think is great. But keep in mind, it takes, in most cases, it takes even more. And I believe it takes an understanding of what's actually going on in the body. So I'm going to give you a couple more statistics as well, just to demonstrate how much of our gut is involved with, or some people may say, involved with running our brain. So 80 to 90% of our serotonin, which serotonin is one of our feel good hormones. All right. So when it comes to feeling good instead of feeling sad or depressed, serotonin is really, really important. It's a brain hormone. But guess what? Most of it is made in the gut. And why is that? Because the brain and the gut are directly connected. And I'm going to show you that just in a little bit. 80% of our immune system, okay, lives in the gut. Our immune system is our internal organ that protects the rest of our body, first and foremost, our brain. Because the gut and the brain, and I wish I had, do I have my, yes, I do. Hold on. I forgot to pull this out. I like to demonstrate this with my weights. This is a 5 pound weight, so I'm not going to hold it for very long because even though 5 pounds might not sound like a lot, it actually is when you're holding it with one hand.
Yes.
So, like, if I drop this on my foot, I would probably break my toe. But in any case, when we are in the womb, when
Mm-hmm.
we are in the womb, we start out as one cell, all right? And when that cell begins to divide and divide, that's how our body is formed and that's how it grows. Well, scientists have discovered that the brain and the gut actually begin as one cell.
Get out of
And
here.
when they divide, they never separate. It kind of looks like this. So when our brain and our gut divides, it stays connected by this thing right here. All right. We've got our brain over here, our gut here. And that's why our gut is often called the second brain. And
Yeah.
this little piece here is called the vagus nerve that runs all the way down from here, from the back of our brain at the base, all the way down to the gut. All
Donna,
right.
can I interrupt you for a second?
Yes,
I was just getting
absolutely.
ready to ask you. That's the next thing that I was getting ready to say. Does the vagus nerve have anything to do with the brain and the gut? But you just answered it. Yes.
Yes, yes. In
Yes.
fact, when I talk about the gut brain highway, it's
Mm-hmm.
the vagus nerve. The
It's the
vagus
longest
nerve.
nerve in our body.
Yes, yes. The vagus nerve is actually the super highway between the gut and the brain. That is how it's connected. All right. Now, here's the thing, and I hope, oh my goodness, I took them out. I cleaned off my desk the other day and I took out my tubes.
The tube. The tube. Oh my goodness. I have
Wait a
a
minute.
tube. I wish I
Y-
was I wish I
I wish
wasn't
you were
frozen.
unfrozen so I could
I
show.
know.
Let's see. I gotta have a tube around here somewhere. I always keep my tubes on my desk,
I don't want to leave and
but
come
I
back
don't.
out.
Hold on. Let me look. It could be hiding. All right. So let me. Well, I'll just use this as an example. I'll use this as a tube, even though there's a top and a bottom. Okay, say that, but if this was a real tube that I would demonstrate with, this would be open on this side and this would be open on this side. Okay, so think of like if it's this way, when we eat, it goes down our esophagus and then it's in our gut. So our gut, everything goes down into the gut. All right. Now
Mm-hmm.
our gut is it doesn't look like a smooth surface. It actually looks like this. Yeah, I don't have all my props. It actually looks like this, like little fibers are on the lining of our gut. And when our gut is healthy, those fibers are tight. They're called tight junctions. It looks like this. But when things start to happen, this starts to happen. And when this starts to happen, things can get in between these fibers. All right. So actually, maybe I can do it with this. 'Cause one of these sides comes off. Hold on. Yes, let me pour this out. So when things go into the gut like this is the gut wall here. And how we feed our body is actually through the walls of the gut. But here's the thing. On the outside of the gut here, on this side, we got the inside here, is our immune system. This is our immune system. And
Mm.
so anything that goes in here and gets through these fibers and comes out here, all right, they engage with our immune system. Now, our immune system is responsible for making sure that anything that comes through here, that if it's not good for the body, that it takes care of it and it gets rid of it. But that also depends on how healthy your immune system is. Because when things get through the gut, your immune system is out here. And guess what? So is the vagus nerve. And it's connected directly with the brain. All right. And so if our gut is not healthy, if our immune system isn't healthy, anything that gets through here, that's not supposed to can go directly to the brain. It causes inflammation in the brain, and inflammation in the brain causes mental disorders. It causes mental disorders. Now, here's the thing, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll get to it a little bit later, but I just want to mention it here. There are some things that gets through here that our immune system may not recognize as I got something still in here, may not recognize as necessarily bad. It may not know what it is, but it slips through, gets right on the vagus nerve, and goes right to the brain. And one of those things is a protein called gliadin. Gliadin is in gluten. Can anybody tell me? I'm saying anybody. Marlene, can you tell me what gluten is? I know you know this.
I mean, well,
Yeah.
processed, yeah,
It's so
processed.
gluten, yeah, gluten is a natural substance in wheat. So what do we eat mostly that's full of gluten? Like what's the number one food?
Bread,
Bread. Exactly. So people might say, including myself, how can bread be bad for you? Like it's all in the Bible.
gluten,
The bread of heaven,
gluten,
let us
no
break bread
gluten.
together. All of the things, when it comes to bread. Well, bread, when God created bread, it was healthy. But here's the problem. Man changed it. And that's why it's no longer healthy in most cases. All right. So what happened is the bread that God created, the gluten, which is a natural substance in the bread, okay, or in the wheat, um, when God created it, it had 14 chromosomes. And chromosomes should be a recognizable word. It has to do with our DNA. All right. So man modified the gluten in wheat so that it wouldn't break apart when it was harvested by these big machines. All right. So what happened was man decided, we need a better way of harvesting wheat so that we can harvest more, we can harvest it faster, because back in old times it was harvested by hand. And anything we do by hand, we always got to put technology on it to make it better, faster, bigger, the whole 9 yards.
The folks,
And
yeah,
and sometimes that is good, but sometimes it's not. So what happened was, so they got the machines to harvest the wheat and it crumbled. It wasn't working. So instead of fixing the machine, what they decided to do was fix the wheat by concentrating the gluten, making the gluten more in the wheat than what God designed it to be. Like I said, instead of 14 chromosomes, it's now 49. It makes it big and thick and sticky. Now, when they harvest the wheat, because it's been genetically modified, it doesn't break apart. So now we can have all of the bread that we want, as much as we want, and as quickly as possible, and as cheaply as possible. And in that modified wheat, because of the gluten now, because of this new gluten, this gliadin protein gets
you said
into our
what is
bloodstream,
gluten protein?
okay? And it gets into the vagus nerve, travels up to the vagus nerve, into the brain, and causes inflammation in the brain. And guess what? You
What?
don't feel it.
Wow.
You don't feel it. And so when I said in the beginning, I said, maybe we're looking in the wrong place. All right. So we're trying to treat all of these mental disorders with drugs. And I'm
Mm.
not saying that it's never necessary, but what I'm saying is that if a lot of people are being treated with a really high failure rate, maybe maybe we need to be looking at the root cause. Let's stop the inflammation from happening instead of trying to stop the inflammation with a drug while it's occurring over and over again, because we don't have pain receptors in our brain for this type of inflammation, so you would never know it. But gluten causes inflammation in the brain. Now you may say, I've eaten bread all my life, I've been fine, I don't suffer from depression or any other mental disorder. So my first response to that is keep living. All right. Life isn't over. All right. And my second response is everybody's body is different. Okay. We're all the same, generally, all right, but we also have differences. Some people may be more susceptible to things than other. Okay, I wasn't always gluten sensitive. In fact, when the information about gluten started coming out and I was learning it, I'm like, I mean, I love bread, and I'm just like, there's no way. I'm like, my body likes gluten. I'm not gluten sensitive. I'm cool with it. But you know what I did? I kept living. That's what I
Mm,
did.
mm.
And now, at the age that I'm at, I actually can see and feel the gluten sensitivity. Now, that's because of the knowledge that I have. You may be experiencing some of the same symptoms that I experience when I eat gluten, but you may have no idea what it's coming from. No idea. None
So,
whatsoever. All right. And that's why I am encouraging us to start looking in areas that we haven't been looking before, like
mhm.
our gut. Okay. Start examining some of the things that we are eating. All right. I met a woman over the weekend, and she was telling me how, the Lord was dealing with her about what she should eat because she was
Sorry,
oops, is there something?
sorry. No, go ahead.
Okay. It's she was experiencing like all of this pain and inflammation. And so she decided, I'm just gonna switch my diet up and see what happens. And she did. And guess what? The pain and the inflammation disappeared
Wow,
completely. She is
wow.
a different person. All right. And then years later, circumstances changed, and she thought, well, maybe, I can have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. She started eating a little bit of this, a little bit of that. What do you think happened?
Came back
Came back.
with
Came
a
back.
vengeance.
Yes, with a vengeance. With a vengeance. And those are the things that we need to start looking at. And sometimes I know it's hard because we like certain foods, and food is so much built into our culture that it
Hmm.
makes it challenging. But when you think about your health and you think about longevity, again, we ask the question, what would you rather preserve, your physical health or your mental health? And if mental health is your preference, and again, one really affects the other, if you don't address your gut health, even though you may not feel it now,
Hmm.
okay, keep living, because as we get older, it gets harder and harder to control, harder and harder to prevent, harder and harder to reverse. And a lot of times as we get older, we feel sad, we feel depressed, and it's even harder to deal with problems. Sometimes, if we just deal with the gut, we will be better equipped to deal with the problems. Make sense?
Yes, makes sense.
Make sense.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I'm feeling like, drained, burnout, whatever, like I had a really busy weekend, this past weekend at a convention. And yesterday I was drained. I was just so exhausted. When I got home, I was telling Marlene earlier, I'm like, I literally just passed out. And so you may be thinking, well, did you eat unhealthy? I didn't know you ate unhealthy. You know what? I didn't. But you know what I did do? I ate at a restaurant all weekend. All
Yeah.
right. When
Hmm.
you eat out, you don't know what's going on in the food. Even though I may have been making healthy choices that I thought was healthy choices, like yesterday I had roasted Brussels sprouts, and they were so good and they were spicy the way they were seasoned. One of my favorite restaurants, little plug here for this restaurant. Well, you all know about PS and Company. That is like my absolute favorite cafe.
Yes.
But I have another favorite restaurant called True Food. The closest one to the Philadelphia area is in King of Prussia. There's also one in Edison, New Jersey, but they're all up and down the East Coast, and I've been to lots of them. Love their food. All right. I had their Brussels sprouts yesterday. Then the 2 days prior, they make like the best plant-based pizza. I love pizza. Okay. Now here's an example. Okay, full confession. All right, their pizza. Now I didn't get the regular cheese with dairy because I don't do dairy because that also causes inflammation. But it wasn't gluten free.
Mm,
It
mm,
wasn't gluten free. Did I eat it? Yes, I did. All right. Should I eat it every day?
no.
No. Okay. The fact that I ate the pizza 2 days in a row, I'm not eating gluten for a long time. But here's the thing. When you take charge of your health, because I'm always trying to keep my gut, my immune system in order. Because again, 80% of our immune system lives in the gut. So on a regular basis, I am strengthening and supporting my gut. So on occasion, when I do eat out, when I eat that gluten, I'm counting on my gut to stomp that out in 5 seconds.
Right, right, right.
But if you're eating gluten all the time, it wears down the army. Wears down the army.
So can
Okay,
I
does
ask
that
you a
make sense?
question? It
Yes.
makes it. I want to ask you a question. So even though, and I know I had this conversation with you not too long ago where I, try to, as much as possible, watch what I eat as well. But can fermented foods help strengthen your gut? Because
Oh, yes. Yes.
even
And
though you ate that gluten, and even though that time that I made an unhealthy choice by choice, but I said, and I knew that the next meal or meals that I was going to eat would not be what I ate. So,
yes,
one of the things that I'm thinking that fermented food really would help support your gut and strengthen your gut. Is
you're
that correct?
absolutely right. We're getting there. You are absolutely right because that's the last thing I'm going to tell you in terms of what to do is
Okay.
how to support your gut. And what Marlene just said is so powerful and one of the best things you can do. Like kimchi to the rescue. I have some in my refrigerator now. Am I going to be eating that today? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, because that is a fermented food. So, absolutely. And the other thing is, and y'all know I'm into essential oils. That's who I am, also what I do. So, there are essential oils like oregano, all right, like thyme, like frankincense, like cloves. So, there's this thing that I'm doing right now because you hear about parasite cleanses and all, gut cleanses, detoxes. There's a whole lot of things out there. And sometimes, life happens and we start feeling a little off. And a few weeks ago, I was like, I wonder if I have parasites. You just never know, because again, particularly if you go out to eat, sometimes you don't know what's in your food. You know what I'm saying? And something can get
Right,
in and you don't
right.
even know that it's there. But I was like, over the last few weeks, I've been very busy, but extra tired. And I'm just like, is my tiredness coming from my busyness? Because you see a presentation on parasites and you're like, oh, I have that symptom, that symptom. I wonder if I have parasites. And I'm like, well, if I do, I'm going to get rid of them.
Right.
So I start using the and Marlene, you'll be familiar with this, the longevity essential oil blend with the oregano, putting that in a capsule. That's
Yes.
my parasite cleanse.
Yes.
I'm like, if
Yes.
they're in there, I'm like, and I'm talking about parasite cleanse as an example, but it's all about strengthening your gut because in our
Mhm.
gut we have the good bacteria, we have the bad bacteria, we have yeast, and we have all kinds of other organisms that I'm not going to mention. One I may mention a little bit later, but we have all kinds of things that are in our gut that are, some of them are good, some of them are bad. They fight each other, they keep each other in check. And what our job is to support the good organisms. And when we
Mhm.
do that, they win. And when they win, we win. And that occasional going off or going out of the boundary, if we think of it in terms of our covenant wellness, our body's able to handle it. But if you're eating things that is not strengthening your army on a regular basis, when you eat those things, you're not winning. You're not winning. And when your gut is not winning, your brain is not winning. Okay. It comes out in your mood. feeling down, feeling sad, feeling depressed, having a low tolerance level, feeling worried, all the things in the fear based emotion bucket. All right.
Wow.
And so that's why it's really important. Now, here's the other thing that I'm going to get to the fermented foods in a minute, but a lot of people don't realize that in our gut, we actually have a built in brain pharmacy. All right. That's working to support our brain 24/7. All right. And I'm going to tell you about a couple of those things. Now, one of my favorites, it's called BDNF. Okay, it stands for brain derived neurotropic factor. You don't have to remember that, but it's a protein that's made in our gut that is responsible for supporting our brain and growing new brain cells. It's made in the gut. Remember, gut and the brain are directly connected. Stuff is made in the gut and it sends it up to the brain for its functioning. Okay, it creates new neurons, it protects existing ones, all of the neurons and synapses and dendrites and all the things that we need for us just to think clearly. Okay, it supports that. It supports that function. Now, here's the thing. There have been studies done with people with Alzheimer's, epilepsy, depression, schizophrenia, and obsessive compulsive disorder. And you know what they found?
What?
They had low levels of BDNF.
BDNF.
BDNF. If you have low levels of BDNF in your brain, okay, which means your gut is not making enough of it, you are more susceptible to mental disorders. All right. Now, this is going to shock you. Maybe not. Marlene, I'll ask you. Do you have any idea what causes our gut to produce BDNF? Have you ever heard of anything?
No, I can't say that I can.
And most people would have no idea. It's exercise.
Stop it.
Exercise. Yes. People, I mean, I'm telling you, God has given us everything we need
Everything
if
we
we just
need.
do the
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
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 BDNF is primarily produced through aerobic exercise, and its primary function is to support our brain. So when we're moving and we're doing our walking and we're doing our aerobic exercise or we're doing our rebounding, I'm like a big rebounder fan. When we're doing all of those things, we're not just exercising our muscle, we're not just getting our lymphatic system going, we're actually supporting the brain at the most basic level. And
Wow.
when we don't have enough of that BDNF that's made when we exercise, all right, it causes the brain not to function as well. So, if anybody needs a reason to exercise, if you answered in the beginning, if you answered the question, my mental health, I'd pick that one, then we need to get up and get moving if you're not doing that already.
So
All right.
basically, the days that we're sluggish and don't feel like doing anything, this information right here, that's enough to make you get up and move.
Yes.
So, so I'm grateful that I pushed myself this morning to
Yes.
walk in the light, beautiful light.
Yes, yes. And Marlene, I saw that video that you did. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. There was the challenge with the dogs. Did it stop, Marlene? No.
No,
Marlene, what did you do?
I got up and I kept walking, and there was a stick in the path.
Yeah. Get yourself a stick.
Get yourself a stick and keep walking. Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm telling you, if there's no, and actually studies have been done. Like when it comes to Alzheimer's disease, which is an epidemic at this point, okay,
Hmm.
exercise is the number one prevention for Alzheimer's disease. Studies have been done that demonstrate that. That
Wow.
should be enough. All right. And I'm not talking about exercise alone. I'm talking about the gut, because
Mm-hmm.
BDNF, although exercise causes our gut to make it, it's made in the gut. Again, the gut brain highway, all right? And our vagus nerve is, everything's traveling up both ways, all right? We have something else produced in our gut. It's called GABA. Okay, it's the brain's natural chemical that helps to keep us calm and our anxiety in check. All right? So if we don't have enough GABA, we're going to be more prone to be uptight and anxious. Okay, produced in the gut. Another um protein that's produced in the gut is glutamate. Okay, it's involved with cognition, learning, and memory. Okay, it's abundant in a healthy brain. Where is it produced? In the gut. Okay, there's another compound or class of compounds called benzodiazepines. Okay, and this is the same class of compounds that's used in prescription anti-anxiety medications. There are people that are taking the synthetic chemical form of benzodiazepine. Guess what? A healthy gut produces benzodiazepine on its own.
God is amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So if you're a person, okay, that doesn't want to depend on medication for the rest of your life, or you're in that state where you're trying to prevent of having to be on medication, particularly for something mental, take care of the gut, because they are directly connected. I'm going to give you some practical solutions in a minute as well. So, again, you have a built in anti anxiety pharmacy, you have a built in brain supporting pharmacy in your gut. The question is yours open for business? That's the
Wow.
question. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
That is the question. And if it's not, get moving, get eating the right foods, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Okay. Get your gut pharmacy up and running and open for business, because that is the best way to support your mental health. All right. I like to say, can I get an amen on a Monday? On a Monday. All right. Before we get to the foods, which we're almost there, I want to talk about a few things of how our gut gets messed up. All right. So one I already talked about, but I didn't give you the name, and that's leaky gut. Because on the
Mm.
lining of our gut, we have these things, so these little fibers, I'll call them. And they're called, when they're closed like this, they're called tight junctions, so that only the things that are healthy for the body gets in. But when this happens, all right, all kinds of stuff can get in that's not supposed to get in, and that's called leaky gut. All right. And when leaky gut happens, we get a flood of toxins and pathogens that get through into the bloodstream. And when things get into the bloodstream that's not supposed to, what happens? It triggers what? Inflammation.
Inflammation.
Inflammation. Okay, and when you think of a lot of people, like another condition that is in epidemic levels is autoimmune disorders. Basically, autoimmune disorders, all that is an overactive, and I don't even want to say, I hate to use the term overactive immune system, because it's doing what it was designed to do. So
Okay.
when pathogens and toxins and all kinds of things that are not supposed to be in our bloodstream, when they get in, because our gut looks like this instead of this, our immune system is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. The only reason it becomes overactive is because we keep eating the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Makes
Mm-hmm.
sense? So if you're
Mm-hmm.
eating something that's giving you joint pain, so your immune system is trying to fight that thing that you're eating. Okay. But and when you stop eating it, in a lot of cases, the joint pain will go away. The immune system's like, okay, we're done. But if you keep eating it, then the immune system, like, we got to get it out, we got to get it out. It keeps working and working. And then what happens? The immune system is like, all right, I'm tired of this. We are doing our best to get rid of these toxins, these pathogens. We are going to now destroy everything that looks like it.
Wow.
All right, let me give you an example. Let's go back to the gliadin. The gliadin that gets in through the gut, gets on the vagus nerve, can travel up to our brain, and our immune system is trying to fight it. So then you keep eating the gluten, you keep eating the gluten, and finally the immune system is like, all right, we are tired of this gliadin. It just keeps popping up everywhere. We are now going to pull in the Navy SEALs. All right. And so the Navy SEALs are like, we are not only going to destroy what we know to be gliadin because it keeps popping up, because it doesn't just go to the brain, it goes other places. We're going to destroy everything that looks like gliadin. And guess what? We have molecules in our thyroid that are very similar in structure to the structure of gliadin.
Mm.
Hello? So what do you think is going to happen? Anybody want to guess?
It's going to destroy it.
Exactly. Now our immune system gets to the thyroid and said, hey, you look like, or I'll say the Navy SEALs,
Right.
you look like the
The enemy.
gliadin. So just to make sure that we are getting everything out, we're going to destroy you too. So then it starts destroying the molecules in our thyroid, causing all types of thyroid disorders. Okay,
Oh,
our thyroid is so important to our entire body for so many different things. So now we have thyroid disease. Okay. Why? Because, and people say it's because your immune system has started attacking you. It's not
no.
attacking you on
Mm-mm.
purpose. It's attacking the things that don't belong there. But because we keep eating the things, now it's attacking you because it's trying to get rid of the gliadin. Okay. I'll give you another quick example. There's a protein in milk called casein, spelled
Mm.
Casein. Okay. Now, and again, this where it goes to people's bodies are different. So for some people, immune system won't bother the casein, but for some people's immune system will bother the casein. Say, you know what, you don't belong here, and we're going to make sure that you get out. So casein is found in cow's milk. So what happens is the Navy SEALs are called in because we keep eating, drinking the dairy. All right. In our pancreas, the beta cells look just like casein. So what do the
Oh,
Navy SEALs do? They
they
attack the beta
attack it.
cells and
Mm-hmm.
destroy it. That causes type 1 diabetes. And but what happens is that this is very early on in life, because it's because like the immune system that doesn't like the casein, it makes that decision when you are very young. And that's why type 1 diabetes, in most cases, you get it when you're very young. Okay? Because the immune system then destroys the beta cells in our pancreas because it looks just like the casein. Okay, so again, there's a whole lesson we just went through now on autoimmune disease. It all starts with the gut, and getting through the gut, then it triggers the immune system and causes inflammation. And it also travels up and down the vagus nerve that can cause inflammation in the brain. That's the gut brain highway. All right, there's one more thing that I'm going to mention. Is called LPS, that lives in our gut lining. And it has a function in the gut lining, but it's not supposed to get through. It's not supposed to get through. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning. Gluten, that gliadin, it not only gets through this. Gliadin is one of those proteins that actually can cause this. It pushes these fibers apart. Okay, then it causes a release of zonulin. I won't get into all the specifics, but when these fibers get apart like this, The LPS, which God created to do something, but it created it to stay on the inside of the gut, gets on the outside into
Oh
the
my.
bloodstream.
Mm,
Okay.
mm, mm,
And
mm.
when that happens, it causes violent inflammation. And it can happen in the brain and anywhere else in the body. So when you hear so many people talk about like the doctors found the inflammation here, inflammation there, or my immune system has started attacking me. This is how it happens. And when we understand that, and so then when we understand the things that we should eat versus the things that are not going to be helpful for our gut, that's going to cause our gut to be compromised, that's going to make the biggest difference in the body, including the brain. Okay? Including the brain. All right, so now let's get to how to rebuild. And Marlene already tipped us off with this in the fermented foods. The fermented foods, like your kimchi, like your sauerkraut, like your pickled vegetables, okay? They are wonderful for the gut because they contain probiotics, which basically replenishes the good bacteria, and they contain prebiotics, which feeds our good bacteria. So when you eat fermented foods, it's like the best thing you can do for your gut. Now, when I talk about prebiotics, the things that feed our bacteria, those are things like onions, garlic, cabbage, okay? Those three ingredients right there are in kimchi, all right? Onions, garlic, cabbage, asparagus, artichokes, beets, mushrooms, and even some fruits like apples and bananas, okay, have prebiotics in them. Dandelion greens. Okay, Marlene, did you know this? Chickpeas. Yes.
Hey, hey. Yes,
Okay,
I did.
if you are watching us by now, hopefully you know about the book that's coming out that Marlene has written. Marlene, go ahead, give us a plug about the book.
Listen, let me tell you something. If you don't know anything about chickpeas, I am your chickpea queen. I am the
Yes.
chickpea chick. And actually, with all the things that Donna has taught us about the nutrients, the protein, the fiber, you can get out of chickpeas. So you just don't want to miss out on anything that's posted, anything that's live that I will be talking about, and the book that's coming out, The Chickpea Chick, coming in a kitchen and a home near you real soon. Now back to you, Donna.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I cannot wait until that book comes out. So we're talking about, oh, there you go. Thank you. It's on the screen, everyone. It's on the screen. Chickpea Chick Cookbook by Chef Marlene. Do not miss it. All right. And it fits right in with this discussion because chickpeas are prebiotics that feeds the
Yes, they
good
are.
bacteria
Mhm.
in the gut. All right. So if you want to support not only your gut health, but your mental health, get the book. Learn how to eat chickpeas. Okay. And there's so many good things that chickpeas are good for. So there you have it. We got our prebiotics, our probiotics, the fermented foods, which we just talked about. Also, just raw vegetables, your berries, your leafy greens, the broccoli, the cabbage, the mushrooms. We mentioned that. Gluten-free foods, which I just talked about for about 20 minutes. I use that as the primary example when it comes to inflammation, and also the healthy fats like olive oil, avocados, walnuts. Walnuts are so healthy. Your omega-3 fatty acids that you can find in salmon, in flaxseed, in algae oil. So many good things that we can feed our gut that is just an easy, I don't want to say an easy fix because health is very multidimensional, but it's a basic foundational, I'll just say it's a basic foundation for wellness no matter what your condition is. This is where we want to start. If you start in the gut, it's going to reach out to every single body system that we have. All right, but today we're specifically talking about the gut health in relation to mental health because mental health is the number one thing that we want to preserve. All right, and the other thing which I didn't mention is when we are dealing with mental issues, and we're not going to go into details of this today. That's another another seminar, another class. In dealing with these mental issues in other external ways, all right, also helps to support the gut as well. It's a
Mm,
two-way street. It's a two-way street. All right, things we want to cut out: gluten, which I mentioned, refined cane sugar, excuse me. Excuse me. Got something in my throat now. Refined cane sugar, your high fructose corn syrup, your inflammatory oils. Excuse me.
take your time.
That lets me know that it's time for me to stop. I'm almost done. Your inflammatory oils like sunflower oil, safflower oil, canola oils. Those are the top three oils that I always try to avoid in cooked foods. All right.
Donna,
Very inflammatory.
can you repeat
Yes.
sunflower? I know sunflower, canola oil, vegetable oil, right?
Yeah. Well, well, they are
Both.
vegetable
They are
oils.
vegetable oils,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Sunflower. The top three bad ones are sunflower, safflower, and canola.
Okay. Thank you.
And then, of course, as I mentioned, the cow's milk for the casein and stress. That's the other thing, and again, that's a different class, but dealing with our stress, like all of the things that an imbalanced gut can cause, not being able to manage our stress in a healthy way can cause the same thing. Because when that happens, our body starts producing too much cortisol, okay? And too much cortisol then affects our gut in a very unhealthy way. All right. So I just want to keep the focus, or I want you to remember it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. All right. So we are at the end. All right. So I want to leave you with this sentence. Your gut is the gatekeeper to your brain. That's the way I want you to think about it. It's a gatekeeper to your brain. Now, again, there are external things that can happen, okay? Because our brain can also be a gatekeeper for the gut, all right? But I want to focus on the gut because that's where most of us fail, okay? In maintaining a healthy diet and staying away from things that impact our body in a way that we don't even realize it. So it is important that we protect our gut because our mental health depends on it. And I want everybody to remember that. If you want to preserve your mental health, you have to protect and support the gut. And that has everything to do with what we put in the gut. And as you know, what we put in the gut comes through our mouth. All right. If you have any questions about anything that we talked about today, I always want to let everyone know you can always reach out to me. My email address is Donna at inside out. No, sorry, back up. Not that one. My email address, don't do that one. I'll never see it. If you want me to see the email, you want to email me at hello at donnamarie21.com. Again, hello at donnamarie21.com. That is where you can reach out to me. If you are not on my email list, you can let me know that you want to be on my email list so you can get lots of other things that I put out there regarding health. But for the Daughters of Destiny, I want you to know I'm in this group. If you want to, if this video is in the group and you want to have a question that you want to post in the comments, make sure you tag me so that I will see it. Because if you don't tag me, there's a good chance that I won't see it. Or you can contact me via Messenger. All right. But in any case, I hope you've enjoyed this. Marlene, do you have any questions or anything else you want to input?
No, this has been exceptionally a wealth of information. I have so many notes as usual. I just want to thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry for the glitch and you can't see me, but as long as you can hear me, that is wonderful. And
Yes.
what you needed to hear was from Donna Marie Codwell on today. I just want to thank you so very much. We want to make sure we put into practice what we are putting in our mouth because, as I say, everything we eat, we make a conscious decision to do that. So today we want to make a conscious decision to build our gut. We have a pharmacy that works in our gut 24/7. So we want to keep it nourished. We want to keep it healed. We want our immune system strengthened. We have been given so many wonderful tidbits and tips. And we want to make sure that we share this information because, as I always say, the saying is when you know better, you do better. But I say, Chef Mark B. Cole says, when you know better, you should do better. And today, this is the reason that we, the Daughters of Destiny, and our founder, always like to come on and give you sound information, whether it's spiritual, mental, or about your physical. So we want to get our gut intact so that we can do kingdom work, so that we can live longer, and so that we can be a blessing to each and every person that we come in contact with. So build your pharmacy and get your business together. Get it right. Get your gut health intact. All right. I just want to say thank you so very much, Donna. Do you have any last words that you would like to say? And thank you for the plug about the chickpeas. I appreciate that. And
I mean, it fit right in there. So good for you.
it
Yes.
was right then. And I do want to say that there is a pending date for my book signing July 18th. If you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Chef Mars Oils and Cuisine, YouTube, you'll find more about it. So stay tuned. Donna, if you follow Donna, please do. Please do. And then Mondays, Donna, give us all your
Oh, all the
Instagram.
Monday things. Yes.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so we do this with Daughters of Destiny once a month where I'm on, and I'm very grateful and thankful to both Marlene and Lorraine for having me. I really, really do appreciate the opportunity to spread God's healthy way to the people of God, to the Daughters of Destiny. But I'm also online other times as well, mostly on Mondays. So the first Monday of every month, I do a class called Make Room for Your Healing, which is somewhat similar to this, where I talk about health, but more so from a Christian perspective, where I bring in a lot of scripture. On the second Monday of the month, my Team Strong, of which Marlene is a part of, and we have a few other members as well. Karen, also in the Daughters of Destiny, she's on Team Strong as well, where we do additional presentations on the second Monday where we talk about health and we also talk about product solutions that you can use as tools to help you with your health. And then on the third Monday of the month, I do another Zoom, and these are all on Zoom, by the way. I do another Zoom called Ask Donna Online. And this is your opportunity to jump on and ask me questions directly. You can turn your camera on or ask me questions in the chat. This is your opportunity to get answers to your questions directly from me. So if you're not on my email list to get invitation to those Monday nights, please do let me know. Give me your email address and I will add you. And then the last thing is once a month on Fridays. It's usually the first Friday of the month, but sometimes it's a different Friday. For instance, for July, it's the second Friday. So on July the 10th, I will be a guest on Irving Fryer's podcast at the Fryer Place on YouTube. He has Wellness Week once a month, and I'm the guest for Wellness Week and for July. And this involves a lot of people, so I really invite you to come if you are free on July 10th at 7 p.m. on YouTube at the Fryer Place. We are going to be talking about diabetes. And I am sure that everybody knows at least one person, probably 10 or more people that have diabetes. And we are going to be talking about managing blood sugar and managing diabetes in a way to help you feel better. And for some of you, maybe even to get better. All right. When I say get better, we can improve our numbers. And type 2 diabetes is also reversible. And we're going to talk about that as well. So I invite you to join us, Irving Fryer and myself, on July 10th at the Fireplace on YouTube. So those are the way to connect with me. Thank you,
All right,
Marlene.
very good, very good. So you have the information. Please share this out to your friends, your families, and your foes because everybody needs to know. Also, I want to answer Susie's question. She had a question about what milk to consume. So I
So
would say, and Donna, you can help me with this. You can answer, but I have some.
no,
Um,
you go take it, Marlene.
the plant-based milks
Yes.
are almond milk, oat milk, uh, cashew milk. Soy, I don't buy soy milk. I don't consume soy milk because it causes inflammation. And a lot of people don't know that. So any plant-based milk, and you can make your own plant-based milk. It is so simple. It is so easy. If you need to know how, just reach out to me. But those are the things. And then you want to wait, you need a plant-based milk that doesn't include um, oils, because who puts oils in milk? Not me, not you shouldn't consume those either. So you want to make sure that if it's almond milk, it says almond milk and water or like that. So yeah,
Yes.
make
So
sure
I
you
that's
yeah.
great. That's great. And I want to just add something because a lot of times people they'll go to the store and they'll buy an almond milk or a cashew milk or a hazelnut, I mean, oh, whatever. And they'll be like, this is so nasty. I don't like this. I can't. Brand matters.
Yes,
Brand
yes.
matters because everybody's taste is different. All right. And so if you try a brand that you don't like, don't just say, okay, I hate almond milk or I hate cashew milk. My favorite is actually cashew. Um, Go find another brand. Keep
Hmm.
trying until you find a brand that you like. Now, I will tell you, my favorite brand is called Elmhurst, and that's spelled Elmhurst. I like Elmhurst because it
Yes.
has the fewest ingredients and it tastes great. It's like I use their cashew. I love it. So again, brand matters. Find a brand that you like. There's so many out there. I'm sure that you will find one that you like. And if you want to know like where do you get them, because like not all stores carry a large variety. So that's
Hmm.
another thing I want to mention. So Whole Foods is definitely a place to start. Mom's Organic Market is another place. There's one in Cherry Hill. There's one in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. There's one, I think it's in Abington. There's one in Center City. So there's four that are pretty close to us. And even Wegmans. I mean, Wegmans doesn't have like all organic stuff, but they're getting better with the variety. And I do know the milk, the plant-based milk section in Wegmans is pretty a pretty good amount. So yeah. So again, brand matters. Find one that you like.
Very good, very good. Well, that is all. We thank you, each and every one of you, for joining us. We pray and hope that you have received information that will carry you, that you will begin to make changes. Remember, make small changes because it starts small. We didn't all just get here overnight. So just start small. Continue to follow us on Daughters of Destiny on our Thursdays tea, fourth Thursdays of the month, and anything that we are sharing with you. Feel free to let us know what you would like us to do or what you would like us to bring to this platform. Thank you, Donna. Once again, we
Thank
appreciate
you.
you wholeheartedly. Until we see you again, remember, eat clean, cook clean, and most of all, live clean. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye.